What's going on, guys? And welcome back to the Football Guys. It's been forever. What has it been, like 2 weeks? I think we were still like in week 1 when we did our last show. Took a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back. I want to thank Ryan for being patient with me. Been super busy with school. Now that all that's out of the way, maybe we can be consistent again. Although I do start clinicals on Tuesday, so we'll see. But yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be talking football. A lot happened between weeks 2 and 3. My Vikings entering week 2. What did we do week 2?
I think we might have done week 2.
We did do week 2. So week 3 and 4. See, I'm behind. So 3 and 4 is what we've missed. My Vikings were 1-0-1 entering week 3. Now we're 1-2-1. Yeah. And then you lost franchise quarterback towards ACL. So it's just been
it's been rough.
It's been pretty bad. But on the bright side, my fantasy football team in our league is 4-0. I had a miracle win against you.
Yeah.
I just beat your brother Chris last week. So things are looking all right.
Yeah.
How's your team looking?
I'm in 3 leagues. In this league, I'm 1-3, I believe. And
yeah.
I've lost like 2 really close games. My other league, I've been losing a lot of close games, and my work league, I'm 4-0, so I'm happy about that.
That's good. Well, I'm 4-0 in our league. I'm 3-1 in Roosevelt's league. My only loss is to Roosevelt. That's his only win on the year. Anyways, then on my 12, my other league, I'm 2-2. So I mean, I'm doing all right in fantasy. But yeah, this is gonna be a fantasy-based show today. We're gonna do start 'em, sit 'em. Then we're gonna do a segment we like to call Last Straw.
Yeah.
Talking about players that. Is it the last straw with them? Should we just give up on them? Anyway, so that's coming up, and yeah, we'll probably just recap, weeks 3 and 4, and just talk about stuff like that. So, we're gonna go ahead and start with quarterbacks to start. I'm gonna let you start off, Ryan. Who's your quarterback?
Oh yeah, before I start out, we actually got a new emote too that's available for our subscribers, and it's a little football helmet that has our emblem in it, which is a.
Cool, yeah.
It's a little small, but we finally got one.
Mr. Carpenter says losing to Roosevelt's team should automatically eliminate you from playoff contention. It was kind of my bad. And I barely lost to him. Albeit, had I just played A.J. Green. Sometimes you just follow your gut, and then the gut's just wrong. And in my case, it's a big gut. But, yeah.
But for start 'em, sit 'em quarterbacks, from our start, I'm about to go with Matt Ryan. He's definitely going to be one of the starts of the week, and the Steelers' defense has just been terrible against everybody they face. They faced Patrick Mahomes, they faced Fitzpatrick, and they were containing him for like the first half, and in the second half, he just started going off, and the Steelers' defense really hasn't done anything. And last week they played Flacco, and he looked really good too. And Matt Ryan's in line for a really, really big game. So if you have Matt Ryan, you're gonna be really happy.
Yeah, he's actually one of my stardom as well. I think it's in for a shootout. Both defenses are awful this year, and both quarterbacks are playing really, really good. They both play on a pretty good offensive line. They both have great weapons. But Matt Ryan, he's in line for maybe 3+ touchdowns. And, if you have him, you start him. Who they play? Pittsburgh played Baltimore last week.
Yeah.
And even Joe Flacco had a couple of touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
That's Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I picked up Joe Flacco. I had Cam Newton last week, and he was on a bye week, so I was kind of looking through the
QBs.
The available QBs, and I see Flacco there against the Steelers. I was like, I'll try it out, and I got me at least 20 points.
Yeah.
He looked really good. Yeah,
and then they gave up the 6-touchdown game to Pat Mahomes. Gave up 3 or 4 touchdowns to Fitzpatrick. Like, this is just a bad Pittsburgh's defense. So, Matt Ryan is definitely a must start. So, I'm going to give you another one, and it's the same game. I'm going to give you Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Look, Andy Dalton threw 3 touchdowns last week, and the week before, Cam Newton went off for 3 total touchdowns, I believe. Outside of the Philadelphia game, the Falcons' defense has not looked good.
Oh, yeah.
They lost Deion Jones, and they've lost Keanu O'Neal. And they've also lost their other backup safety who took over for Keanu O'Neal. That's 3 defensive starters they've lost. And the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a lot of shootouts, man. It's going to be two high-powered offensives going at it. So.
Yeah, like outside of week 1, the Falcons' offense has been really, really good, and they're 1-3 right now. And the reason is because their defense. They're having to have a shootout with like everybody they're playing right now, and they're losing a lot of close games. And Breeze had like 5 touchdowns on him.
Yeah.
And one of them was a nasty run that he like freaking juked some guy that tried to tackle him in the open field, and he just like kind of walked in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Big Ben is gonna have a really big game as well.
Yeah, and that's my quarterback. But who do you have? Do you have another one?
Yeah, I have another one. Phillip Rivers is gonna go.
That's who I have as well. Let's just talk about Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he's going against the Raiders defense, and overall they're 27th.
Yeah, they gave up 2 or 3 touchdowns to Baker Mayfield last week.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Baker Mayfield's looked pretty nice.
Oh yeah, he's looked really good, and but they put up 42 points against the Raiders defense.
Should have had a third, but he overshot Antonio Callaway, and it was in the first quarter. So.
But yeah, I think he's gonna look real good. Both of his running backs have been amazing out of the backfield. Like Eckler has. Came out of nowhere, and I'm kind of sad by that because I have Melvin in like 2 leagues, and he's taking a little bit of catches away from him, but he's doing really well. So, but he's doing as well.
Mike
too.
Williams has been a pretty decent surprise. He's making a lot of tough catches. Mm-hmm. So, I just don't know why he hasn't supplanted Tyrell Williams as that number 2 receiver. He's still slotted as the number 4 receiver on the depth chart.
Last week was the first week I finally started Mike Williams in one of the leagues,
and he pooped it.
He did anything against the Niners defense at. Corner. They're just absolutely terrible.
They're not playing him. They don't give him enough snaps. Yeah. I just don't know why they won't play the number 7 overall pick. But yeah, I'm with you. Phillip Rivers, he's gonna have a big game, and especially because this LA defense, they haven't really been the LA Charger defense yet. They're kind of starting slow. Hopefully, the same thing's happening to the Minnesota Vikings. But yeah, Phillip Rivers is a must start. So. Now that we got our 3 quarterbacks, we have the same 3 quarterbacks. Let's move on to some quarterbacks to sit. And this one might surprise some of y'all, or it might not. Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. I had him too.
Did you? Look, I think last week, Denver kind of gave everybody a blueprint on how to beat Pat Mahomes.
He struggled till very late in the game where he just made some amazing plays.
And I think that was because maybe Denver ran out of gas. Yeah. And they just couldn't... stop him.
Like, even at the end where Patrick Mahomes made that little left-handed throw that he made, like, on the run. Like, Von Miller, he was, like, running, and he looked extremely tired, like, while he was chasing him. That was late in the game, so I think, like you said, they kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah, but I think, hey, you got Jacksonville coming, and Jacksonville's a whole different animal than Denver is. The only upside that Pat Mahomes has is that it's a home game. Yeah. But even then, I think Jacksonville has so much pride in that they're not going to allow them to get beat by Pat Mahomes,
Especially Jalen Ramsey after he's been kind of talking stuff on Tyreek Hill here lately.
That's going to be a fun matchup.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna
because there's no way Jalen Ramsey can keep up with Tyreek Hill.
Oh, no.
He's going to have safety help. He has to have safety help.
Like, I really want to see Andy Reid just go after him. Like, the first play of the game, just have Tyreek just run a streak or something against him.
Or a double move or something.
Yeah. Like, it's going to be a really good matchup to watch, Tyreek.
Yeah, but Pat Mahomes is his quarterback to sit in my book.
Yeah, that's exactly what I completely agree with you on there.
Yep.
Another one for me, I have Russell Wilson. They're going against the Rams defense, and the Rams defense hasn't looked so great so far this year, but they do have some good pass rushers, and Seattle's offensive line hasn't looked very good at all. And they, like I said, the Rams have Sue and Donald, and here lately it seems like the Seahawks have been trying to run the ball a lot too as well, so I think... For Russell Wilson, he hasn't been throwing the ball as much, and it's been really helping him running the ball, actually. They've been kind of controlling the clock a little more, and they've actually been winning a few games. So I think Russell Wilson's going to have a tough game against the Rams. And actually, last week, I was really surprised that Marcus Peters played for the Rams last week because he had like a hamstring injury coming into the game, and he's like on a contract here. So it was really gutsy for him to play, but maybe this week he'll be a little better. You kind of seen him get beat a few times against the Vikings.
Vikings have great receivers, though. I don't know if the Seahawks have great receivers. Yeah, I know they have Doug Baldwin, but he's kind of coming off that injury still. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be real high on Russell Wilson. But if push came to shove, I would have to start him if he was. Joe Flacco, another guy. Look, he's had a good season so far. He's a low end one. He's a spot start. I know a lot of people look at Cleveland and they still think that Cleveland's defense is pretty bad, but they're actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Defensively, they're pretty good. And I think Joe Flacco, he's going into Cleveland. I think he's going to struggle a bit,
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think they're going to get a lot of pressure on Joe Flacco. I mean, last week, I mean, the Steelers just let him do whatever they wanted to. I think he's going to come back down to earth a little bit, and he's going to be kind of coming off of a high and then not really see Cleveland as a kind of a threat, really, to be honest. And I think they're going to capitalize off of that, and I think they're going to make a lot of plays against them.
Yeah, even I would look if he's my QB1, I would definitely try to look for a quarterback on the waiver wire, maybe like a
based off of like a matchup, maybe like Bortles.
Yeah, Bortles playing the Chiefs is a good matchup. Maybe even Ryan Tannehill versus the Bengals. Who gave up 3 touchdowns to Matt Ryan. I would even look at that maybe. I just wouldn't start Joe Flacco. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, you got another one?
I do not actually.
I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna give you Case Keenum. And I've said it all since March. No, since February. No, since last year.
For a long time.
For a long time. Case Keenum's trash. And I'm going to leave it at that. So let's move on to some running backs to start. And my start of the week is Melvin Gordon. He's playing the Oakland Raiders. That defense, they aren't good at all. And Melvin Gordon seems like every week he scores a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I know he's not getting the carries that he should be getting.
Yeah.
But I think that's because the Chargers are playing in such close games, or they're having to play from behind.
Yeah.
That they're having to throw more than they want. So that's probably a reason why they haven't been giving them the rock as much.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Austin Eckler's looked really good. Yeah. But it seems like Melvin Gordon's he scores every week. So.
Yeah, even last week I think he had like over 100 yards receiving. So they're getting him involved.
He's already had the 3-touchdown game. Yeah, the dude's nasty.
Yeah, he's been very consistent every week. Like I said, if he doesn't get it done on the ground, he's definitely getting it done through the air, and he's looked really good.
Yeah, but that's my running back to start of the week. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with T.J. Yeldon, and he's gonna be a waiver pickup for a lot of people, and a lot of
Josh
people
tried trading him to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like a lot of people had him a few weeks ago, and then Fournette came back, and then all of a sudden Fournette's gone the same exact game.
Yeah.
And T.J. Yeldon again, I think he's gonna have a really good game. The Chiefs' defense is overall their defense is ranked 32 in the league, so I think he's gonna have a really good game against the Chiefs' defense. Especially, I think they're gonna want to try to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands as much as they can, and they're still kind of a run-first offense anyway. So I think he's looked pretty good in the games has played for Fournette, so I think he's going to continue against the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think anybody on that Jacksonville Jaguars offense is a start. They're worth a start. Whether that be T.J. Yeldon, Dante Moncrief, Keelan Cole, D.D. Westbrook, you start them because it's Chiefs defense. They're going to rely so heavily on that offense. But who knows? Maybe this is a game where they have to, because they know how great the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is, that they know that they're going to have to play good to stay in the game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, either way, I would start T.J. Yeldon as well. Another one is my boy, and I'm glad he's back, Joe Mixon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Joe Mixon's back. It's 2 weeks. Thank God it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He was a full participant. It looks like he's not going to have any limitations. And Miami's run defense has looked awful. They gave up 100+ to Sony Michel last week. So yeah, I think Joe Mixon's in line for a pretty decent comeback.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I think
especially with Giovanni Bernard being out.
Oh yeah, he's going to be out for at least like 4 weeks or something like that too as well. And like I said, Joe Mixon, he's just kind of like the first few games that he had, he showed that he's a dual threat running back as well. He's catching a lot of balls out of the backfield, so he can definitely get it done both ways. But yeah, another running back that I have, and right now he really hasn't done a whole lot. And I think this game he's looked the best out of all the running backs that they have on their squad, and they've been kind of a committee over there. But I think Aaron Jones is going to finally try to break out, and they play the Lions, and the Lions' rush defense has been absolutely terrible. Last week they gave up 152 to Zeke on the ground, and then Breida had 138 before the game before. Then week 1. Powell and Croat had 162 combined. So they've just been giving up yards left and right. So I think Aaron Jones, I think this will be the week that maybe McCarthy will actually give him the bulk of the carries. Because honestly, I think he's the best running back out of the 3 that they have. And so we'll see if he can actually get some.
Honestly, if there's a game where an opportunity is to be seized, it's this game because Geronimo Allison, Randall Cobb, and even Devontae Adams on the Packers. They're dealing with injuries, so maybe this is a game where Green Bay has to run.
Yeah.
So maybe Aaron Jones, this is his opportunity. So yeah, I'm with you. I think he can have a really decent stat line.
Exorcist says, don't know whether to start Aaron Jones or Keelan Cole as flex.
See, that's a hard one because they both have great matchups.
Mm.
The thing with Aaron Jones is
you don't know.
He's in a committee.
Yeah.
And he's playing with Aaron Rodgers, who they throw most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the best receiving back. That's Ty Montgomery's role.
Ty Montgomery.
Then the thing with Jacksonville is they don't throw as much as they should, or they don't throw because they don't trust their quarterback.
Mm.
And even when they do throw, are they going to give the majority of the catches to Keelan Cole, Moncrief, D.D. Westbrook? So it's really just hard, you know? I think this is more so what's your gut telling you.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would go with the running back. I would go with Aaron Jones. Because there's always that chance that he can get a goal line.
Yeah, I definitely think I see Aaron Jones getting a goal line for sure. Yeah, like you said, there's so many mouths to feed in Jacksonville. I mean, I really like Keelan Cole, I think, but even Aaron Jones is risky. You know, McCarthy, he just wants to run all three running backs all the time for whatever reason.
He's playing with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers throws a lot. And it might be a shootout. So they might have to abandon the run, you know?
I think for me, the safer bet would probably be Keelan Cole, just because you don't know too much with Aaron Jones. But I think He's
looked good in the 2 games. And limited. He's already outplayed Jamal Williams and Ty Montgomery. So
I think Aaron Jones has more upside, but I think the safer play is Keelan Cole.
Yeah.
For me.
I say Aaron Jones. He says Keelan Cole. And I'm going to tell you, follow your heart, man. Because they're both good. They're both good matchups. He said it might even play safe with Marvin Jones. See, Marvin Jones has a good matchup.
Yeah. I think he's questionable as well with a hamstring or something.
Just keep track on Marvin Jones' questionable tag. I don't know. Because Kenny Galladay's just emerging.
Yeah, he's absolutely tearing it up right now.
Yeah, so I don't know. You got 3 really good matchups, so it's gonna be on you, buddy. Anyways,
pick your poison.
Yeah, let me give you one more. John Connor versus Atlanta. I know he's had a couple of off weeks, but I think this is a game where he's going to actually come out and he's going to be really, really good. I'm thinking 17 carries for 80-plus yards. Mm-hmm. And I think he gets a touchdown. So I just think John Connor's going to I think him knowing the Le'Veon Bell's coming back, he's going to try to play as good as he can.
I'm real interested to see what the Steelers kind of do with Le'Veon Bell when he does come back. Like you see Earl Thomas just barely get hurt. I think it was last week, and he's done for the whole year, and he was in a contract year as well. So I don't know exactly how the Steelers are going to use Le'Veon, but I think Connor is in line for a really big game against Atlanta for sure.
Yeah. Let's move on to running backs to sit. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start off with that?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Kenyan Drake versus the Bengals, and Kenyan Drake really hasn't done much at all this whole year. He's been splitting with Gore, and Gore, he has more attempts than Gore, and Gore is still outrushing him just by a little bit, not a whole lot, but Gore is still outrushing him. But Kenyan Drake really isn't what everybody really expected to. If I had to start him, he would be in a flex just because I had to. And I see a lot of people still with Kenyan Drake in their lineup. And I just wouldn't feel comfortable if he's in my lineup unless I absolutely had to start him.
Your brother's making fun of me because I said John Connor. I know who I mispronounced his name. Anyways, I'm with you. And what's scary is that his snap count's just going down every week. Mm. And he has a lot of talent, but it just seems like Miami just doesn't like him. They hate him. They did the same thing with Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, it's weird.
Why would they do that to a young running back?
And I heard some stat earlier. I was listening to some podcast or something, and he was saying in that podcast that he doesn't know why Adam Gase, that's their head coach, right?
Yeah.
He didn't know why, because last year when they had, or the year before when they had Ajayi, every time Ajayi rushed for more than 20 times, they won the game.
Yeah.
Then anytime Kenyan Drake last year rushed for, I think it was more than 16 times, they were winning. And so far, they haven't even got up to 15 most of the times. And I
think the most he's had is 14. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what they're planning on doing. I don't know what he's doing.
He must practice terribly or something. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. Is that he just probably just practices awful.
It's crazy.
Anyways, but I hate to say this about my guy, and I'm gonna say Davon Cook. You sit him. He's not 100%. he might be on a pitch count, and he's playing the number 1 rated run defense right now in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if this is a game to sit Davon Cook, it's this one. Even if he does play, I think maybe 10 to 12 carries and maybe like 30-plus yards.
Yeah.
That offensive line hasn't clicked yet. And on top of that, he's just not healthy enough to really want to start. I'm just so glad Joe Mixon's back. Yeah. But if he can get going, I got a trio of pretty good running backs.
Yeah, another sit-up for me. I'm going to say Chris Carson. And he's actually looked pretty decent the last few weeks. And
he just got cleared to play, too.
And Seattle's been wanting to run the ball a lot more, but they're going against the Rams. And so far we've seen the Rams just been able to score whenever they want to. And I think they're going to get behind pretty early. Seattle's defense hasn't looked too great either, and they got a lot of new faces on their defense. So I think they're going to get behind, and they're not going to be able to run the ball like they want to, and they're going to have to put it in Russell Wilson's hands eventually. So I don't think he's going to have a very great game.
Look, I'll tell you what, watching Jared Goff, that kid is nasty.
Yeah.
He's so accurate.
It is ridiculous.
He's pinpoint accurate. And the throws he was making was unbelievable. And saying that, he's going to just destroy the Seattle Seahawks. He just is.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to throw the ball if they want to keep up with this Rams offense. So, Chris Carson, especially because Mike Davis had a really good game last week. I mean, are they going to continue to give the ball to Chris Carson, or are they going to give the ball to Mike Davis? So, I'm with you. I don't like Chris Carson as a play. So, I'm going to give you Alex Collins at the Cleveland Browns. Look, Alex Collins was going into the season a top 15 running back to me, but it seems like he's doing it to himself. He fumbled at the goal line on the 1-yard line last week, and he got benched the rest of the game. And Buck Allen's just taking a lot of snaps from him. The only upside that he has going into this week is Cleveland's run defense is ranked 22nd. But I don't trust. It's kind of the same thing with Kenyan Drake.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Kenyan Drake situation is just worse. But Alex Collins, it just seems like they don't like him or something. They don't know what to do with their running back. So it's just, I think this is a time where you just kind of just bench them. But if you have to start him, you start him because Cleveland's run defense isn't very good. But I just wouldn't be too excited about starting Alex Collins. So
there's a lot of teams so far this year. It's like, I don't know what they're doing at the running back position because, like,
you even go Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, Kerryon Johnson's right there, and he looks good.
Yeah.
But they just continue to give the ball to LeGarrette Blount.
Well, even, too, last week, I think Royce Freeman was doing really well. He was averaging, like, 9 yards a carry or something like that.
And Phillip Lindsay's looked good, though.
Yeah, they both have looked good, but, like, it seemed like Royce Freeman was getting into a really good zone last week, and then all of a sudden they just, like, stopped giving it to him for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, even the Bears situation, too, I mean.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a lot of situations right now where I'm just like...
Yeah, it's just a gross situation. Yeah, even New England, but New England's kind of evened out with all the injuries. But anyways, let's move on to receivers. My receiver to start, Julio Jones. This is the week he's going to get a touchdown. Mark my words, he will get a touchdown this week. He's playing against Pittsburgh. Joe Hayden isn't Joe Hayden anymore. Artie Burns is Artie Burns, but he's not very good.
Yeah.
Look, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'd be super surprised if it's not high-scoring. With that being said, I know Calvin Ridley already through 4 games has 6 touchdowns. Look, Julio Jones, he's gonna get a one-on-one and he's gonna score. And I think he's gonna break over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I have Julio Jones as my start of the week as well, and everybody's been all over Calvin Ridley lately, and I think the fact that everybody's been all over him, they're going to start putting more pressure on him and starting to keep an eye on Calvin Ridley, and that's definitely going to open it up for Julio. And like you said, if he gets any one-on-ones, that's just a mismatch. Whoever's guarding him, and Julio's just going to have a really big game, and I think, like you say, he's gonna score this week. I think he's going to have a huge game this week, and I think he's going to look unstoppable, like one of those games that you see Julio and you're just like, wow, that was a ridiculous game. I think that's going to be like that type of game for Julio this week as well.
Yeah. Do you have another?
Yeah, I have same game. I'm going to go with Juju, and right now he has 31 receptions. Antonio Brown has 29, But Juju has 416 yards, and Antonio Brown only has 272. So he's getting a lot more bigger plays than Antonio Brown is, which is crazy because Antonio Brown's usually kind of like the deep ball guy, and where he used to be in the past, where he'd catch a little small pass and just somehow make it into something, and he hasn't really done that this year. And Juju, he's been doing that, it seems like, all year. Even last year, he's been kind of like their go-to guy, even though Antonio Brown's leading him, or has more touchdowns than Juju. But I think Juju's going to have a really good matchup this week against the Falcons, and Falcons have been struggling on defense as well, so I think he's going to have the better day out of the two.
I saw a crazy stat. Juju has played 96% of his snaps in the slot, so he's a slot receiver, and he's a 6'3" slot receiver. The dude is a monster, so he's a mismatch because he gets matched up with linebackers and safeties. So he's taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
And Juju, he's a hell of a football player. He is really, really good. I think he's in that wide receiver 1 conversation.
Oh yeah.
Especially because Pittsburgh's defense is bad, so they're gonna have to throw a lot.
Yeah.
So both of those receivers are wide receiver 1s.
Mm.
What's crazy about Antonio Brown is he's averaging less than 10 yards a catch. So he's just not making those plays that he's accustomed to making. So I don't know if something's off with him and Roethlisberger, or maybe it's just the whole Le'Veon Bell situation.
Yeah.
But
Seems like he's been pissed about something as well.
Yeah, I think they're if the season keeps going the way it's going, I think Pittsburgh's really gonna either get rid of Antonio Brown or Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh yeah.
And they might blow up the team, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this is a must-win for both teams. Like, they're both 1-3. Like, they definitely have to win, or one of these teams aren't going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Let me give you another one. It's not necessarily one receiver. I'm going to give you the Vikings receivers, because I think they can both go off.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have a really good matchup. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're 30th in pass defense right now. They're pretty awful. So they're definitely in line to expose the secondary for the Eagles. So Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, I think, can have a really monster game on Sunday. So, did you have another one?
That's all I got for now.
I'll give you one more. I'm going to give you Larry Fitzgerald. And I know he's had an awful start to the season, but he's playing San Francisco. Richard Sherman's not going to be there. Kilo Witherspoon, you were saying earlier, he looked awful.
Terrible.
I don't know if Tart's going to play. So, I think Fitzgerald can have a pretty decent game.
I think there's been 2 games this year. One against the Lions where Kilo Witherspoon got benched for like most of the second half. He came in kind of later in the game just because he had to. And then last week, Jimmy Ward even got benched for a little while too. So, I mean, their corners are pretty terrible right now. And the Arizona Cardinals could definitely take advantage of it this week.
Yeah. So let's move on to some receivers to sit. I'm going to start off with Amari Cooper playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Look, he's had, and I say that, but it seems like he's had his best games versus tough matchups, and he's had his worst games versus easy matchups. So it's really hard to say about Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper, I just don't trust him.
Yeah.
It just seems like he forgot how to play receiver. And I don't like him. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that he should be a lot better. He looked like he was in line to be a lot better, then all of a sudden he's just not there.
He forgot how to play football.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but he's only 23 or 24 years old.
Yeah,
so.
He's still really young.
Yeah, and if he was 4th year in the league, and Calvin Ridley's already 23, he'll be 24 in December, and he's a rookie. So that just tells you how young Amari Cooper is.
I mean, even Gruden wants to get him the ball. Like, he was getting mad at Carr for not throwing to Amari enough, but
it just seems like Amari Cooper is just like, I don't know, maybe he just wants to retire, but he doesn't know how. Anyway,
this is it.
Do you have a receiver to sit?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Corey Davis, and he had a really big game last week against the Texans. But, I mean, they're playing the Bills, which they aren't too great, but they are pretty solid at corner. They got Tre'Davious White, and I think it's going to be a really tough matchup.
He held Stephon Diggs to like 3 catches for 14 yards.
Yes.
I don't even want to talk about that game. Don't laugh, Ryan.
But yeah, this matchup's gonna be tough. And last week was his only like really good week that he's had all year, really. And he had a breakout game, but then he's gonna have to go back and play Tre'Davious White, and that's gonna be a really tough matchup for this young receiver, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know Corey Davis, he kind of broke out last week, but that was against the awful secondary of the Eagles. Buffalo Bills, Tre'Davious White's going to shadow him. I'm kind of with you. I don't think he's going to repeat that 161-yard performance.
Yeah.
Maybe 50 yards, you know? But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. Anyways, so we've done quarterbacks, we've done running backs, and we've done receivers. Let's take a break, and when we come back, let's do some last draw, and then we'll finish up with start 'em and sit 'em.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the Football Guys. Music's off. We're going to start a new segment. It's called Last Straw. This segment's going to be based on players that we thought were going to be really good. But they just haven't performed.
Like at all.
At all. So yeah, and then we're going to discuss whether it's the last straw with them. Should we just give up on them? Or should we just hang on to that glimmer of hope that they'll come back? You know? So anyways, I'll get started. And I'm going to start off with Davon Cook.
Davon Cook.
Now look, he's been hurt. He's not playing for the best offensive line.
Yeah.
The Vikings are asking Kirk Cousins to throw up 50-plus times, it seems like, every week.
Yeah.
So they can't really get a rhythm in the run game going. So I don't know if it's all his fault. It seems like when he does run, he looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to give him a couple more weeks because after this Philly game, you got New York and then you got Arizona.
Yeah.
If he's not doing anything against those two teams, then I think it's time to pull the plug.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hang on to Davon Cook.
Yeah, like definitely the potential is definitely there with Dalvin. You've seen it last year. You've even seen it in glimpses at the beginning of the season, and he's busted out that big run against San Francisco. He ended up fumbling it, but he showed a lot of patience. I think he even ran over a guy whenever on the way to that big run, but he showed a lot of glimpses, and he just hasn't really got it done this year so far. And like you said, they've been throwing it quite a bit, so like he hasn't really had a chance really. And then even too, whenever he has a few good runs, all of a sudden Latavius Murray's coming in. And it's kind of, I see a lot of teams doing that. They kind of ruin the running back's rhythm whenever they try to do like a little change of pace. I don't like that whenever teams do that, to be honest.
Yeah, but I would just hold on to Davon Cook because he's got a lot of talent, and it's there. It just seems like the Vikings can't get the flow on the run game.
Yeah.
So, you got one you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually, this guy I thought really high of him, and he actually hasn't done anything whatsoever this year. And it's Derrick Henry, and this guy I really thought he could possibly be like a top 10 running back. And this dude looked like he's going to be an absolute monster after that show.
And it's not like they're not giving him opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, the opportunities are there. I think he's had 3 out of the 4 games, 16-plus carries, but he's just not doing anything with them.
It's crazy.
You don't have that same excuse with Davon Cook. Davon Cook just hasn't had the opportunity. Yeah. Derrick Henry has he's had every opportunity to seize the opportunity, and it just seems like he just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just too big.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. He averages 4.5 points right now in just a standard league, and
that's not good for an RB2.
Yeah,
because that's what you drafted him as, an RB2.
Yeah.
So,
he definitely hasn't get it done. I think this week for me would be the time to just give up on him. He plays the Bills this week, and the Bills, anytime you play the Bills, they're probably going to be more than likely playing from behind. So
yeah.
I think Tyne's going to have a lot of time to run the ball a lot this week.
Well, and Buffalo has I think the 24th ranked run defense. If he doesn't do anything against Buffalo, then you got to pull the plug.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the last chance. You start him against Buffalo, and if he doesn't do anything against Buffalo, you got to look to trade him.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd even flirt with releasing him, honestly. Yeah. I'd even flirt with that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Derrick Henry, even Dion Lewis hasn't looked so great, but he's looked better than Derrick Henry has.
Yeah. He hasn't even gotten goal line touches.
Yeah, this dude is
and
so
it seemed like
big.
That offense,
it's crazy.
They were starting to click last week.
Yeah.
So.
And he still didn't really have any impact at all.
So, anyways, but Mr. Carpenter says, if Dalvin gets another chance, I sure hope Derrick Henry does, since his team is poop. His O-line is poop. Yes, that is true. But he's had every opportunity this season, though.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of touches. Anyways, I'm going to give you another one. This one's easy. LeSean McCoy. Look. If you're in Nudi's case, you draft him as an RB1, but most people draft him as an RB2.
Yeah.
He's more so flirting with RB3, RB4 potential now. That's how bad he is.
Yeah.
I think the days of him being a legit RB1, they're long gone.
Yeah, especially on this team.
Yeah, he's not playing for a good offense. And he's age 30. And he's a smaller back, and he has a lot of wear and tear on his body. I think it's time to give up on LeSean McCoy.
Yeah, I'm definitely done with him.
If I were to trade for him, it would be for a flex.
Yeah.
That's the only way I would trade for him.
Yeah, as RB1 or RB2, I'd be really scared if he's in there.
I'm looking to trade.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, if he's in my flex, I maybe could live with that because maybe he'll show signs every now and then.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't want him in my top 2 starting lineups right out at all. But yeah, LeSean McCoy, I think he's definitely done.
Yeah. You get rid of him. You get rid of LeSean McCoy quick.
Do whatever you can to trade him.
Right. You have another one?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go with Jordan Howard, and he's probably the better one out of the ones that we've talked about so far. But last week, he had 11 attempts and he only had 25 yards. And
that was against the Bucs.
Yeah, and Tariq Cohen had a really big game against the Bucs last week, and right now he's averaging 8.5 points per game, and he doesn't look very good. Like he's had like one decent game where I think he scored like 13 points.
Yeah.
But other than that, he hasn't done anything either, and that's another case of their second running back taking a lot of his carries and he's catching a lot of passes out in the backfield. And right now, I just don't know what to do with Jordan Howard because I have him in the league, but I'm going to start him every week, hoping that because I drafted him as my RB2 as well, and there was a lot of other players that I could have got ahead of him, and I thought Jordan Howard the last few years he's looked amazing. This year it hasn't been the same.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping. I mean, maybe he would have been that Kareem Hunt type role for Matt Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
But he just hasn't. He just hasn't had. And he's playing for a good offensive line.
Yeah.
Just seems like they're not giving him the touches. He's a type of running back that the more touches he gets, the more you know consistency he's gonna find. But
these are downhill runners. I mean, they just. I don't know. Sometimes they even try to split them out wide. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Honestly, I would give him a couple more weeks. If he hasn't done anything in a couple more weeks, because he started slow last year.
Yeah.
And then he picked it up. But if in a couple more weeks, if he's not doing anything, I'd be looking to trade him, honestly. I'm gonna give you one more. Alex Collins. And I'm gonna say I'm done with Alex Collins. Look, it's been 4 weeks, and it seems like you kind of already know the Ravens' approach.
Yeah.
To the run game is committee. They're going to give it to the hot hand, but they're also going to give it to Buck Allen, and they're going to give it to Alex Collins. And when Kenneth Dixon comes back, they're going to give it to Kenneth Dixon. So, yeah, it's going to be a committee. And Alex Collins just hasn't done anything to really sway that committee tag from that backfield. So, Alex Collins is somebody that I would look to trade if I had him.
Yeah, even too, they look kind of like a pass-first team, and Flacco has been really good so far this year. I think one game he didn't play very good against was, I think, Cincinnati. Other than that, he's looked really solid. I mean, he's playing to stay the Ravens starter for a long time. Like, he wants to play for another contract, it seems like, and every time he's under that contract here, he's performed, and so far this year he's doing it, and said they're not really even giving the running backs a chance, really.
Yeah. Do you have one more? That was kind of it for me.
Yeah, my last one actually is Demaryius Thomas, and Demaryius Thomas has 5.4 average points per game in a regular league, and this guy I watched him last week, and he definitely this is the first time I actually watched him in a game or whatever. They played Chiefs, and it was a primetime game, and this guy definitely looks like he lost a step, and he doesn't look like the old Demaryius Thomas that we're used to seeing.
And Cortland Sutton's looked pretty good.
Yeah. He's
looked pretty good.
And it's crazy, too, because Demaryius Thomas has been getting some decent amount of targets. He just hasn't been doing anything with them or getting down the field. Week 1, he had 10 targets. Week 2, 11 targets. Week 3, 5. And then last week, he had 7 targets. And one of them could have easily been a touchdown, but he got kind of overthrown by Case Keenum.
And that's kind of hurting his value,
that was to win the game.
That is hurting his value, is Case Keenum.
So
Keenum's trash.
Right now, for me, I'm gonna keep starting him just because I'm that type of dude.
Yeah,
but he's definitely on my last straw right now. I'd probably take one, maybe 2 more weeks of this, and then I might have to look through the waiver wire or look through my bench and replace him because I dropped him as my number 2 receiver, and I thought it was gonna be kind of a steal. Because I thought a lot of people were going to overlook him, and Emmanuel Sanders.
Honestly, if he's my number 3 receiver, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I at least want 7 points for my flex.
Yeah. And he's averaging 5.4 right now.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. So, anyways, but that's going to be it for Last Straw Players. If you guys like that segment, let us know, and we'll bring it back for sure. But let's move on to some tight ends. And my start of the week is going to be Kyle Rudolph. Look, Philadelphia's given up the most points tight ends this year so far. He's looked really good with Kirk Cousins. I know he's the number 3 option for us. But he's gonna have his opportunities, and I think he's in line for a pretty solid stat line. I think maybe 5 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
For me, start of the week for me is gonna be Austin Hooper.
Yeah, I have him as well.
And,
I was debating whether to put him or Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, I think anybody on the Falcons offense is in line for a big game. You know?
Yeah.
For sure, I think Julio's gonna have the biggest game out of all of them, but I think there's gonna be another player that gets maybe a touchdown or a lot of the receiving yards. And I think Austin Hooper is gonna be that player for me, and I think he's gonna get so far the Steelers have allowed 3 touchdowns to tight ends, so I think Austin Hooper can really get some red zone targets and get another touchdown, at least one for sure.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I think Austin Hooper, anybody on the Atlanta Falcons offense, they're going to have a pretty decent game. Maybe Mohamed Sanu won't. They're getting Devontae Freeman back, so maybe they're going to emphasize the run a little bit to help out the defense. So.
I hope so. Man, I've had Devontae Freeman. I haven't been able to use him all year. First game, he started like the first quarter, maybe second, and then he went out.
And he looked good. I think he had 6 carries for like 40 yards or something like that.
They ran him like 3 straight times in the goal line, too, to try to get a touchdown. They didn't get it, but they're looking to use him quite a bit.
Yeah. Mr. Harvester says Kelvin Benjamin. Him and he's trash. He's a last straw player for sure, but I wouldn't even touch him. I wouldn't even look to trade for him. I wouldn't even look to acquire him in the draft.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of upside in preseason, but that was about it. And after that, the Bills have just looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah, except for week 3 against the Vikings. Josh Allen looked like Jim Kelly.
That dude was jumping over everybody. That was
Anthony
crazy.
Barr's trash. I hate Anthony Barr. Anyways, let me give you your boy, a surprise player, George Kittle. Hey, this kid can play, man. He is nice. Yeah, that's all I got to say. George Kittle, I mean, you got to think, Marquise Goodwin, I don't think he's going to play Sunday. Pierre Garçon, he's not what the player he used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Breida, I think, is he healthy? He's probably going to play.
He said he's questionable, but I can see him playing, though.
So George Kittle, I think, is going to be the primary focus on this San Francisco offense in terms of throwing the football. And him and C.J. Beathard, they both look like they had a pretty good connection.
They went to the same school.
Yeah. So they already kind of know each other's tendencies. Yeah. So. George Kittle, regardless of Jimmy G's absence, he's still a tight end 1.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually had Kittle on my list as well as my last tight end too. And the Cardinals, they've actually been pretty good against tight ends, but right now Kyle Shanahan, he's just somehow finds a way to slip Kittle wide open. It seems like every single game that they played, and there's at least 2 or 3 times where there's nobody around him. And you seen last week with what his speed can do. He was out running, I think it was a safety, and he would just straight zooming past him, and he couldn't catch him. And as much as they use Kittle, no matter what defense they're playing, even if they're a good defense against tight ends, I think they're gonna find a way to get George Kittle the ball.
Yep, I agree with you on that. That's gonna be it for all my tight ends to start.
Same here.
Same. Let's move on to tight ends to sit. And you want to start off?
Yeah. My first tight end, my sit of the week actually, is gonna be David Njoku.
Yep.
And he's been looking pretty good so far. And this week they play the Ravens, and I think the Ravens are gonna bring a lot of pressure to Baker Mayfield and try to make him make a lot of mistakes. And I think I really don't see Njoku really doing too well against this Ravens defense. They've only allowed 1 touchdown so far against the tight end, so I think he's gonna have a tough day against him.
I'm with you, man. It's gonna be a tough game. I think it's gonna be a defensive struggle. It's gonna be whoever runs the football better is gonna win this football game. But I think David Njoku. Look, the Ravens have great safeties. Tony Jefferson and Eric Weddle are 2 great safeties. And so they're going to give David Njoku a hard time getting open.
Yeah.
I just don't see him having a big game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3-4 catches, but I don't think he's going to get in the end zone. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. He's actually on my tight ends to sit.
Yep.
I'm going to give you Travis Kelce against Jacksonville. Look, they've given up the 3rd fewest points to tight ends this year. They know number 87 is somebody that they need to stop. So
yeah,
I think they're going to put emphasis on Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins isn't playing either, I don't think, this week. Yeah. So that's another weapon that's down for Kansas City. So they can put more emphasis on guarding Travis Kelce. So
maybe they put Boye on him.
That might be a good play, actually.
So, but yeah, I don't think Travis Kelce's gonna have a monster game because he seems like he's been on fire these last 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I know he started out the season with that one catch, 6 yards, but I don't see him having that 6 or 7 catch game like he's been having. Yeah. So, anyways,
I have another one. Sit him, Benjamin Watson. They're playing the Redskins. I think the Redskins have been a really, really good defense so far. I think overall they're the first-ranked defense rushing in for total yards allowed, and they just been completely stopping the quarterbacks. I think so far the passer rating for opposing quarterbacks have been like 55 or something like that. It's been extremely low. So the Redskins are gonna give Drew Brees a little fits, but I think overall, Drew Brees is Drew Brees, so he's gonna do what he does. But I think Benjamin Watson's gonna have a tough day against the Redskins.
Yeah, I had Jimmy Graham, but honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think he might have a decent game because all the weapons that he's gonna be missing. So I'm not gonna talk too much on that. If you have Jimmy Graham, start him. So let's move on to defenses. My start of the week's Tennessee against Buffalo. Seems like anybody that plays Buffalo is the start of the week, except Minnesota. That's gonna bug me all year. Even if we win the Super Bowl, that would still bug me.
Maybe if they somehow made the playoffs.
I watched every snap of that game. Every snap of that game I watched. It was like they were looking ahead to Week 4. They were looking ahead to the Rams.
They might have been because their offense was like just ridiculous against the Rams.
Yeah, but they looked like they were playing the 85 Bears against the Bills. Anyways, Tennessee, look, they've looked really good, man. They beat the defending champs last week. Mm-hmm. They're on a roll. It seems like they're starting to gel together. Mm-hmm. And I think Tennessee's going to have a really, really good game against Buffalo.
Yeah, I think so too.
Especially Buffalo didn't look good offensively last week.
They're underrated defense, and like I was talking about this defense like before the season even started. I thought they could make a lot of plays and be one of the top defenses in the league. Mm-hmm. It was top 10, and right now they're 5th in points for defenses in fantasy. And I actually have them and the Jaguars. So I'm kind of set on defenses right now as long as they kind of keep it up.
Yeah.
Even with Malcolm Butler playing as bad as he has, he's allowed the most yards as a corner in like the whole league, or one of the most yards. He's been pretty terrible so far. But yeah, another defense that I have is the Texans. Start against the Cowboys. I think their emphasis is going to be stopping Zeke, and I really don't. They're going to try to make Dak beat him. And I haven't really seen too much to Dak. Last week, Dak, he had probably his best game last week, and he really didn't look all too great either.
The thing is he had those 2 big bombs to Zeke that really inflated the stats.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, did he have another one? I know he had two big plays.
Yeah.
Like 50-plus yarders. It was like a screen.
Yeah. And other than that, he really hasn't shown anything, and his receivers really haven't stepped up. Like, a lot of people are talking about Michael Gallup, and he's showed a little bit of glimpses, but he hasn't really had that game yet.
Yeah. But, no, I'm kind of with you. And it seems like J.J. Watt's kind of picking up steam as well.
Yeah.
He already has 5 or 5.5 sacks.
I think he had a 3-sack game the other day.
He had 2 sacks, and then he had 3 sacks the week before. So he's starting to look like J.J. Watt of old. So if that defense, that back end can kind of just play a little bit better, that Houston Texans defense is going to be nice.
Especially the Cowboys' offensive line. They haven't looked too great this year, and it's crazy because everybody always expects the Cowboys' offensive line to be amazing, and they haven't. They're going to have to go against Clowney.
Even Tyron Smith hasn't looked good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's looked good, but he hasn't looked like Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Denver Broncos against the Jets. Look, Sam Darnold started off the season hot, but it seems like he's kind of hitting this rookie wall where he's just awful. And Denver's defense has actually looked pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the Denver Broncos are going to have a pretty solid day, especially because Case Keenum is really forcing that defense to play better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I definitely could see him having a really good game next week. And last week, they contained Mahomes for the majority of the games, and at the end, it was just Mahomes' playmaking at the very end that actually won him the game. Mm-hmm. Like, he was just making ridiculous plays that really, it wasn't really the defense's fault. He was just throwing with his left hand and doing whatever it took to win him the game. So, I think they'll definitely come out with like a high against against playing Mahomes as well as they did.
Yeah. Did you have another one?
I do not.
I had Baltimore and Cleveland. I mean, you can start them both.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be defense struggles. So I think they're both good matchups against each other. Let's move on to defenses to sit. Green Bay versus Detroit. I know Green Bay had that showdown against Buffalo, but this isn't going to be a showdown. Look, Matthew Stafford is nice.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback.
He is.
And he's not going to get shut out. I think this might be a game where it's going to be in the high 20s, you know? So, yeah. And Detroit's offensive line actually doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
I think their weakest link is that right tackle. Marcus Lawrence kind of taking advantage of him last week.
Yeah, I definitely can see a big game from Detroit going against the Packers. And like I said, Matthew Stafford just seems like he tries to throw himself in the game no matter what. They could be down by like 20 points and he's still trying to make plays, and somehow they end up making it a game in the end. So I don't think the Packers are really going to do anything defensively.
Yeah. But yeah, Green Bay, I think you sit them.
For me, I'm going to go with the Redskins versus the Saints. And I think it's going to be – the Redskins are, like I said, they're one of the top defenses in the league this year. And I think they're playing Drew Brees, and this guy just looks amazing right now. And Kamara is just making it a lot easier for him. And then they get Mark Ingram back. I don't know how much they're going to use Ingram this week, but I think it's going to be a tough day for the Redskins. And Drew Brees is just – you can contain him for a little bit, but you can't stop him. So he's definitely going to put up a lot of yards against this Redskins defense for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like New Orleans, they're kind of picking up steam. They're starting to get on a roll, especially defensively. They look pretty nice against the Giants.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, finally, right? But I think this might be a game where, yeah, they're going to expose that Redskins defense. And their defense has looked all right.
Yeah, they've looked really good. Like I said, the opposing quarterback has like a 55 rating or somewhere around that area. But like I said, this might be the game for them that they kind of take a little bit of a step back.
Yeah, but I'm going to give you the Vikings going against Philadelphia. Look, I'm going to sit the Vikings until they prove to me they're the defense that they're accustomed to being since Mike Zimmer's been the coach.
Yeah.
Until then, I'm not starting them. Yeah, especially against Philadelphia. They're going to have their backs against the wall. Yeah. So they're going to look to come out and score points.
Yeah, and Alshon Jeffrey came back last week, and he had a really, really good game last week. And I was debating. I had him on my bench just waiting. I was going to start him, and somehow I started Mike Williams, and Alshon Jeffrey is on my bench with a touchdown, like 100-something yards.
Yeah.
But he definitely looked like he hadn't missed a game yet, and he looked like the Alshon Jeffrey of old, and he was definitely Carson Wentz's favorite target that first game back. So.
Yeah. But anyways, did you have another suit?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, actually, against the Texans. I think the Texans can make some really explosive plays, and they're going to have – if they make a lot of explosive plays and start getting up on the Cowboys, then they're going to have to start playing from behind. So
the Cowboys' defenses look nice.
Yeah, they've looked really good, and I mean they're still they're 2-2 now, but I think the Texans can make a lot of plays on these Cowboy defenses. I mean, Deshaun Watson, I think he can get outside the pocket and kind of avoid that pass rush.
Watson seems like he's kind of in a sophomore slump, though.
Yeah.
That's why I had him as my 12th rated quarterback. I just wasn't sold on him.
He's picked it up a little bit, but like I said, he hasn't shown what he did last year, but he's definitely been coming to his own in the last few games.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for me. It's going to be it for you?
Yeah.
Hey, that's going to be it for the show. It was good coming back. I hope to come back Tuesday. I'm supposed to get out of clinicals at 5. Anyways, so with that being said, we'll come back on Tuesday to discuss Week 5. And then maybe look ahead the week to Thursday night football game next week. Who's playing next week? I don't even know. Let me check that real quick. Should have already had that for y'all.
I want to say it's
Eagles-Giants. That might be a good one.
That would be a really good game.
So yeah, we'll dissect that game a little bit. Talk about fantasy on that, and then that's gonna be it for tonight. If you like what you heard, give our Facebook a like. Go follow our Twitter page.
Follow our Twitch as well.
Follow our Twitch. Subscribe to us if you have an Amazon Prime account. You can subscribe for free. But yeah, it's gonna be it for tonight. I'm JJ. Good night. This is Ryan.
Yeah, have a good one.
Take it easy. Don't be cheesy.